a complete engine teardown for the Super Cub.
So essentially we're just ripping this thing apart. Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah, we're gonna take it right apart completely and have a look inside.
And reviewing some fun flying, including an unintentional 2,000-foot iPhone drop test.
What are you trying to do?
My friend Zan and I are both new tailwheel pilots.
It flies pretty smoothly.
Yeah, I love this airplane.
We're both looking to get checked out in the back seat, so we enjoy flying together and swapping seats.
There we go.
Nice.
Today I was going to use my backseat time to both test my pivot case for the iPad, but I was also looking to see how the chest cam worked out, because I was going to be flying a T6 in Oshkosh, and that shot worked really well to get the panel in this warbird. You can check the description for the link to this video.
Go ahead and put the parachute on.
Anyway, Zan uses her iPhone for her electronic flight bag with ForeFlight on it, and she keeps it in the seat pouch, which I hadn't noticed.
It's good to have some backseat time, just
Feel it?
yeah.
I was keeping on top of navigation from the back seat with my iPad, but I hadn't explicitly explained that to Zan.
Kitchener's zone pretty much starts at the town.
Yeah.
So don't go any farther to the west of the lake, and we'll try to find, but you can be like over the lake.
Yeah, I can.
What are you trying to do? Oh, you got,
Whoops!
oh no, it is so gone, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you were trying to do, and then all of a sudden it was like, it's gone.
Oh, I forgot the window's open.
Well, that's a first.
Wow.
Anyway, I got you covered with the iPad.
So there you go, that's the clickbait out of the way. But it's not the end of the story about Zan's phone, so stick around for that. But in all seriousness, we were lucky we were over the country. Keeping loose objects secure in any airplane is definitely important, but obviously with the window open it's more important, and if we were over the city, we would not have been laughing about this. Anyway, it was a real privilege to be invited to the shop. Kovacic Aircraft Services is an approved engine overhaul facility. Zan is an aerobatic pilot and she aims to buy a Pitts one day. She also hopes to do some owner-assisted maintenance, so she really was interested in being here to see this process.
Us pilots, we just know how to break things.
It's perfect. It's a good relationship.
We shot a video with Dennis covering the story about what happened to the airplane. If you haven't seen it, check the description for the link. Suffice to say, there was severe damage.
Have you ever seen a prop strike stop an engine in one instant?
I've never seen actually, and it bent the blade like up this way.
Yeah.
Like, I've actually never seen that. This is like the worst one I've actually seen ever. So when we see a prop strike, they're usually hitting the ground because of a landing gear failure or a hard landing. And usually the prop will be turning and the revolutions go around as it stops, so the blades will be like bent out this way.
Right.
It actually hit so hard, it pulled this threaded plug right out.
Wow. Right, so that one's gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can see how this one, see how this one's actually damaged? Yeah, we already know right away that our crankshaft has to get replaced. Because of that, there's a bunch of other things we're gonna check in here.
To make it slightly less depressing to watch this engine come apart, I'm going to share some fun footage flying this airplane.
I'm going to try to do one where I don't need to slip, don't need to have power. I'm going to pull the power back on base.
Yeah.
And then bring it in with full flaps.
Okay, cool. It's good that you always have a mission in your mind.
Yeah, sometimes you have to change the plan when things go different.
Yeah. It's fun to watch you though.
Yeah, it's fun to fly with other pilots. I always like to do that and see what's happening and just so you can observe things.
Yeah.
What do you think, full flaps up here at idle? Think you can do it? A little bit low?
Yeah, here.
Here, full flaps, boom. No wind, yeah, it's no wind. That's what's making it tricky.
Yeah.
If I end up being high.
It had been nearly a month since my last flight and my approach planning was obviously rusty.
Okay, I'm gonna get it nice and slow. Yeah, I'm a bit high now.
Yeah, you are.
We'll actually dial this flange, and it's like thousandths of an inch that we're measuring to see if it's bent. But this one we didn't even have to measure. We just looked at it and we could tell it was bent, so it's pretty bad. When we take this all apart, we're gonna send this case away and we're gonna get it inspected for cracks or damage in this front section in here.
Right.
That's what we're worried that the sudden stoppage might have damaged something on the case itself. Any ferrous material like steel, right? We're gonna send out for like a Magnaflux, and then any like a case, which is made of aluminum, will it'll go for like a liquid pen, like a dye pen inspection. Yeah.
And what about the fuselage? Do you have any idea on that, if it's twisted or not?
No, you know what? We cut out the one side, had a look in at the fuselage, and we couldn't find any damage. It looks like the engine mount itself took all the absorption of
The twist?
of the twist, right?
Yeah.
I kind of think every single pipe was like bent on the engine mount.
Oh yeah, we looked at that.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So, but really, it's a good thing because, like I said, the rest of the fuselage looks fine. So we're just gonna change like the boot cowl and the firewall.
So if you're gonna misjudge an approach, I guess it's better to be too high as opposed to being low and dragging it in with power. But being too high, you don't want to stuff the nose down and build up speed. So I chose to go with a full slip on this one.
Alright, at least you know with a full flap, full slip, you're coming down.
Yeah, usually those full flaps, it goes down really fast. Like,
Yeah, no, I guess zero wind is the thing, right? We have
Yeah.
zero wind today, so.
I can't really blame it on the wind. It was just simply bad energy management.
Yeah, we're landing long again. Floating forever. Oh, bounced it.
Good landing.
Oh, thanks. I was gonna try to grease it, but it was a little bit firmer. Not a short landing though.
Yeah, it is. Always squint calm.
The ground speed is like matching the airspeed.
I'm gonna take these off in order. Just like that.
I was somewhere between horrified and amazed watching this thing come apart so fast. And the pistons come off right now?
See, these will just slide right out.
How'd that come off so easily? Oh,
because it's so well maintained.
once the, oh yeah, I get it. Once the cylinder isn't there,
Yeah. This is.
nothing holds it on. You always keep them lined up with their own parts?
Yeah. We'll keep the number one piston with the number one cylinder, and they're actually all labeled. They're stamped. Still something.
So how atypical is this compared to what you would normally do with an inspection or whatever? This is a full teardown.
We call it a bulk inspection. So we're gonna take this whole engine apart just to inspect it. Now there's certain mandatory things we have to replace, you know?
When you take it apart?
Yeah, so we can't put it back together, say, with the same bearings. You have to change the rod bolts and the rod nuts. Like Homie has a service bolt that tells us mandatory replacement parts, whether it's an overhaul or just servicing. When you have a prop strike, this is a critical point that you want to inspect.
What's it called?
It's a crankshaft dowel.
And
It pins this crankshaft gear, and that's what keeps everything in time.
that's the camshaft gear?
Yeah. These are all going to get sent out and get inspected. These are all just locking plates.
Oh, that's cool, yeah, okay. So,
Yeah. Sometimes they're lock wired. It all just depends on what engine it is, right? These are idler shafts for our idler gears. Like all these bolts here, they just go in the garbage. We're not going to use those again. In the garbage. This is going to go out and get inspected, though. Right?
so which bolts do you throw in the garbage? The ones that were holding those down?
Yeah, and the ones that are on the camshaft gear, they'll go in the garbage.
So this airplane is from 1956, but the engine is still standard parts and everything?
Yeah. This is a little bit of an older style engine for sure, but there's still lots of parts. This crank bolt.
So that goes in the garbage just as a standard.
As soon as you loosen it off, it's garbage.
When you put these things back together, is there like certain torquing specs and so on?
Oh yeah, everything's torqued to a spec. Yeah, for sure.
There it is.
And we're gonna send this gear out too.
You can't tell by looking.
No.
What do you expect may be wrong with it?
It might have a hairline crack or something like that.
Oh, man. Was that an iPhone 6?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it was a pretty sparsely settled area, so it's probably in a field somewhere.
So again, we're laughing about this because we're pretty sure it didn't hit anybody, but the crazy thing is, it actually did land in someone's yard. 3 weeks and several storm systems later, Zan got a call from the local police. I can't believe this thing survived.
Yeah. Do you want me to like open it?
It works.
Yeah, it works.
That is friggin' crazy.
Yeah.
The police put her in touch with the person that found the phone. Understandably, he had some questions.
He's like, how did you drop your phone here in my backyard? And I'm way out of the country.
Oh, there you go. 2,000 foot drop test, iPhone 6. Passed. Passed. Now it's a matter of cracking the case.
Now we get the hammer out, cracker.
It's like open heart surgery.
Sometimes this gets pretty crazy. So you might have to cut some of this out.
Like, is that gonna just fall off, or?
No, no. I'm a professional. Alright. Okay.
That was smooth. And what would you expect there to possibly be some shock crack or something?
Well, yeah, that's what we're worried about, that there might be any damage in this front area right in here, right? On this piece, maybe.
Right.
I'm not gonna see anything just with my
No.
eyeball. And even if it was cracked or whatever, certain cracks can be repaired.
Oh yeah?
Right? We can send the case away and
How do they,
repair it.
isn't that like a cast single piece?
Yeah, they'll weld it. Yeah, there's weld repairs they do to it now. Yeah.
Wow.
So, but it all depends. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes you'll send it down and they'll be like, oh, yeah, no, we can't. Here's the bearings. All these bearings will be replaced no matter what.
Would you expect to see anything weird on the cam?
No, not really, just because it's such a low time engine.
Yeah.
Anywhere on the Lycomings are always on the cam and the lifters, right? And these are like pretty spotless. I think this engine only has about 600 hours on it.
Not even.
Like, it's pretty fresh, right?
That's why it makes me cry.
We're gonna take these off next.
Have you seen anything exciting yet, Steve?
It's all a bit exciting.
The cat ran by.
So even though it looks like the airplane is fixable, we still need to convince the owner it's worth keeping it in the rental fleet.
I'm sure I could get what, 172, another 172R, which we need desperately for what I can get for the Super Cub. So,
Yeah.
we'll let it stew over the wintertime, I guess. Or, I don't know, we'll see if Dennis can convince us to keep a Super Cub online, but I think we'd like to keep a tailjacker online regardless, because it has been doing well, and it's kind of a tough decision, especially when we do need another 172.
So if you're local and you're interested in flying tailwheel, definitely let Spectrum Airways know.
So if the rods are bent, do you just replace them?
The rods, yeah, we just replaced them. Yeah. The only thing so far I'm gonna replace on this is the crankshaft, for sure. I already know that. And then everything else we'll just kind of see how it goes.
So are you going to send the crank out, or do you know it's garbage?
I'm not even gonna send it out. For you, I'm gonna send it out to see if it's cracked.
Oh,
I can
okay.
get some footage if it's got something.
Okay. It's pretty awesome that Lee is so welcoming, and I look forward to shooting more of this process with him. And again, a huge thanks to these guys, because it's a real privilege to be invited into the shop. After the crank got cleaned up, we had a look at it with Dennis to see just how badly warped it was.
Certain parts of the crank, the part that's resting here, and this end, are the ones that rest in the associated journals here. So if they get a dial indicator that they can rest against this, and it measures things in thousandths of an inch, if there's any run out, they can tell whether the crank itself is bent. But because this is all one piece, as soon as this flange on the end is damaged, it's game over. That crank cannot be repaired.
Oh yeah. That's ridiculous. This was a solo shoot, so picture and sound quality suffered. But thanks for sticking around. Future shoots in the shop will have my team on set for full productions, which are made possible by the supporters on Patreon and help from the sponsors. Please visit flightshops.com to enter our monthly contest. It's currently worth $750. And keep your flight chops sharp.
So do you have your cell phone that fell out of the airplane on you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's amazing. I can't believe it.
I have it on video.
It's not really cracked or anything.
And you found it.
Yeah.
Farmer. Nuts.
Maybe I could cut that into this video so there's some flying in this video. Interesting.